Hello friends, my name is Shivam from Devops Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Here it is. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the deployment. Okay, look at my screen, guys, everyone. Now this is the most important API resources which you are going to use it to deploy a pod. Yes. Remember, if you want to deploy a pod, yesterday I talked about many resources like a pod, application control, and also like that. So let me just show you how can you deploy the pod. So you can deploy the pod various ways. See, these are the ways you can deploy the multiple pod. Replication controller, replica sets, right? And a deployment, and then a daemon set, and then stateful sets. So these are the ways using that you can deploy the pods. But now I'm going to teach you deployment, which is the most important API resources for deployment. So what deployment has features? So guys, they have a two feature. One is like a replication. Okay, and this is a replication, and it has a feature of controller also. So one is replication, one is controller. Third feature which we have is versioning. Okay, and fourth feature which we have a rollout, and fifth feature which we have is roll back. So these are the five features which we have in deployments, and putting together this is called deployment. So using deployments you can get multiple pod. Now all of us are using this APIs only, this API resources only to deploy a pod, and we are not using replication controller, API resources or anything else but deployment most of the time. But yeah, there are two more actually which you just need to find out. What is a daemon set and stateful sets? So what are the difference and also like that. Okay, so now that guys, this one replication controller in hit, this replication is been done by not a replica set. Yeah, this is a calling the replica set here. So here I show you replica set, right? So this is the by replica sets. Why? Because this replica set is basically v2 version of replication controller. So what has happened? A replication controller which I taught you yesterday, and that got deprecated, and that's the reason we are calling, like, Kubernetes moving fast. The best way to learn is to get into the system and then see that which is deprecated, which is not, and all stuff like that. So RC got deprecated, and in place of replication controller, we got replica set, and replica set which control the replications in a deployment. This is how it is happening. Now this controller is done by deployment controller, not replication controller. Deployment control. Okay, so this I'll show you, and versioning also I'll show you. So now this is the machine and I want to create a deployment. So before that, I would like to see how many deployments I am having. Get a deploy. No deploy in the default namespace. In a dev namespace, no. Do we have a pod here? I just want to check. Get pod -n dev, and you see here there's one pod, a few pod is running, which is a part of RC. So what I'll do, I'll clean it off this one because I don't want this one to be seen here. So delete RC and hyphen def. So this is the one. Got it. In fact, I'll delete the single pod which I created as well. So delete pod, hello pod hyphen m def. Okay. So this is also deleted. So right now I do not have any deployments. If I see here in the def, I do not have any deployment. So how to do that? So you know that CRUD operation, I can create a deployment or through YAML or through command line. So I did created pod using YAML. I created replication controller using YAML. But this time, you know what I'm doing? This time I'll create a deployment using command line. So how can we do that? So here kubectl create -h, and you see here, can I create a deployment using command line? I have these options. So I'm learning myself itself. So I did created a namespace. Then I can create a deployments also. Where is that? It's here. Okay. So this is the one. So still I don't know the remaining commands. So I'll do deployment hyphen h. And here I got few examples to create a deployment through command line. So this is the best way to learn and find out the commands yourself rather than asking anyone else. Okay, so this is the deployment. So here we are going to create a deployment. So let's get started. So this is the command which I have to create a deployment. -n is equal to dev. I need to write it, this one, and create a deployment my dep image bgbox. Now this image I would like to change here because I have my own images which I'm going to use it for this demo. I need this basically. So here it is. So guys, kubectl create deployment my dep, name of the deployment, and pod will be created from this image and in the namespace. So that's all. You know that all the pattern by now because you've been working. So can we create a deployments right now? Here it is. See that kubectl deploy, get a deploy, okay, -n is equal to Rajesh. Oh, sorry, dev, right? Here it is. So right now we have one deployments. I get a deployments. What I will do, I'll just describe this deployment. Okay, describe deploy, name of the deploy, and kubectl describe deploy, name of the deploy, and then namespace. Now you see, you should read it. Again, I'm reiterating one points again, like whether you understand or not understanding, please read those fields because that way you will get comfortable more than pointing it out. What is this? What is this? What is this? Because slowly you will get used to it, automatically starts understanding about it. So see here is a name, namespaces, some labels. Labels is very important. I'll teach you in the next section. Selector, replicas. Here one desire, one updated, one total, one available, one unavailable, all this stuff. And here you see strategy type. I need to discuss this one. Rolling update, which is here. Strategy, which strategy? We need to understand this one because this is the most important one. Pod has this template out of this content, this image. Now if you see here, this deployment which I describe, they have a deployment controller. Look at this here. So here, this is what I was saying. Controller is managed by deployment controller. Look at this here. Okay. Now here, if I see, I say replication is controlled by replica set. Now what is a replica set? Can get multiple pods. That's a replica set. Using replica set is a replacement next version of v2. Okay, RC. So see here. Here old replica set none, new replica set. This is the one. How many replicas you have? Only one. So can we see a replica set? So replication controller RC, replica set RS. Okay, it's a short name. So can we just check it out? Get RS. Okay, and hyphen N dev. See here, it's matching, right? So this is the replica set. This replica set also directly you can create it. You don't need to create a replication controller, but here this you can understand this way. So you'll understand both the way. Now you describe this replica set. Describe rs, name of the rs, and then hyphen n is equal to dev. See, look at this. This is a replica. Where is that? So this is the name of it, and replicas. See here, replica set controller. So replica set controlled by replica set controller, whereas deployment is controlled by deployment controller. Understand that. So there's a difference here, and this is the pod. So now, yep, this is the deployments I created. I describe it. Can I edit deployment? You know that there are many ways to edit command. You can use YAML and then apply all this thing. You can do that. So let's do that edit, because I don't have a YAML right now. I will get it YAML. Just a second. So edit deploy, name of the deploy hyphen n dev. What do you want to change? You want to change the image, that also you can do, but right now I'll change the replicas. So replicas here 1 2 3. Okay, and you see here get pods hyphen n dev. I think I change it. But it don't taken. Let me go one more time. Oh, sorry. I think I changed the status, which is a live information. I should not touch this one. This is the live information of server. So this is not, I should not touch. I should touch something which is in spec. Here it is. That was my bad. And I should get now. See here. Okay, so that's a one way. Now I'll teach you one magical command. Using that you can create YAML file from this. So see, using command line I created this deployment, right? And now I want to create through YAML file of YAML file. So what we do in this case? So guys, get deploy and a name of the deploy. If you see hyphen n, never forget. And I can see that everything in a output of JSON also, and YAML also. YAML is easy to read actually. This is the YAML. See here. This is my YAML file. So this is the trick which I play most of the time. I create any resources through command line and then convert into the YAML file. So that's become easy. So right now it's easy, and then do this dep one.yaml, dep.yaml. Now you got it, this here dep.yaml. Now after that you have to do little bit of cleanup here also. So here vi dep.yaml, you have to remove the status section actually, because status is for the live infrastructure, live thing. So let's remove the status. Now this is the trick I play most of the time, and then here from replicas make it 3 to 4. And now instead of edit I can do apply also. So you see that here how do you create a YAML file quickly without any error and stuff like that. So this is the things I did. There's some warnings are there, I can ignore it, but it got configured. Now can you check that pod number of pod I got 4 or not? So here if I see you got the 4 pod. Now the last one which got created here. So guys, this is the way you see that. So if you are getting scared from the YAML file, don't be. It's just a matter of you get comfortable. There are so many methods are available which will help you with this. So guys, any questions so far? Any questions? Okay. Okay. So yeah. So now guys, what I'm going to show you is how to replicate. So edit and apply is the way to replicate, but there's one more command. What we have is kubectl get deploy get kubectl scale, okay, -h. You know my tactics. So here you can scale using, you can uh, modify the replication using scale also. So what you want, 2 replicas I want, but for what? So I want of deployment, and the deployment name is mydev, and namespace is dev. And you see here, see 2 got terminated. Earlier it was 4. Now I'll get 6. See here, remaining got created. So this is called replication, guys. This is called replication. Okay. See, easily I could get it 6. Okay. Now can I show you the advantage of controller? So what I'll do, I'll delete this one. So kubectl and delete this pod. Look at the age actually, and all the pod I'm deleting, by the way. Accident may happen, right? Or let's leave it one. Let's leave it one, and then -n is equal to dev. So here it is. See, look at the age of the, look at the age. Here it is. So guys, this is a controller. You have a controller here. So any questions so far, guys? Any questions? Okay. So guys, these are the commands I run in order to show you that demo. Section 1. Okay. Now I'm going to show you, talk about the versioning feature. Okay. So what is the versioning, by guys? So if you look at this here, deployment kubectl. Kubectl has one command which is, look at, let's learn ourselves only. Do you see rollout command is there? Here it is. So last time I tried scale command. Okay. This time I'm going to try rollout. So you look at this here, one by one we are covering all the commands, almost all the commands and all. So now I'm going to cover the rollout command. So where's the rollout? Here. So what is exactly the rollout? So what I will do, I'll use my tactics rollout -h That's the one thing. So here rollout you have a deployments, daemon sets, and stateful sets. Everything you have in place. Rollout, deployments, daemon set, and stateful set. Okay. So here these are the available commands we have: history, pause, restart, resume, status, undo. Now the question is, what is a rollout? So guys, rollout you can use with deployment, daemon set, and stateful set. You can use with. Now what is a deployment? You know that is a way to deploy the pod. But using deployment and rollout combination, what you get it? So guys, basically guys, you will get these features. These features. See, you want to think about it one by one first. You have deployed one deployment today, and then you feel like and you, tomorrow you deploy it second version. So what is the version between 1 and 2 that you know, but suddenly sometime what happened? Suddenly you need to roll back, and that has to be within a second. So how do you do that? So to roll back, you need to go and get the older version of your YAML file, correct? And then you will apply the rollback and stuff like that. So this might take few minutes actually. I said minutes, not a days. Few minutes. To avoid those few minutes, we have a versioning capability. So instead of you go find out the older version of the all the YAML files and all, just see the versioning and roll back to that particular version which you want. So deployment at max can have a version up to 10. That means 10 version it is possible. So that you can get it. So can we see that here? So how do we see that versioning? So let's learn ourselves only. So here we have a 5 command with a rollout, 6 command, history. You can check the history of the deployment and rollout. You can pause that ongoing rollout. If you are upgrading, then you can pause. You can restart the rollout, resume the rollout if you have pause, and status and undo. So these are the 5 things you can do that. Now here history command will tell you the versioning. So let's check it out here. Rollout version history of what? Deploy, and which deploy? My dev. Where it is? -n dev. See here. Because I changed the image only one time, so now I have only one image. That's the way I learned myself. So can I do one thing? Can I change the image itself? So let's check it out. So here get, look at the image. First I want to check which image I am having. Get spot -n dev -o white. So if I see that all the 6 container, the 6 pod call, one of which, see here, please read this. Welcome to devoschool.com version 1. So this is the version 1 right now. Okay. So can I change the image and see that if the image got replaced or not? And for that, you can use one of the edit command also. You can change the edit. I'm just going in the past. Here it is. And change this image, which is here. v1 to v2. That's all. Image is a different one. Save it. And now let's check it out the version. See here, version 2. So version 1, version 2. Now can we check the get pods? See here, still it's happening, so you'll have to wait for a few seconds. Rollout is happening. I didn't show you that command because I was focusing on the only versioning. So almost done now. Can we check this? Curl http. See here. Welcome to devopsschool.com version 2. So now from version 1 to version 2, we upgraded just by changing the name in the deployment. But history we have no. This is the one v1 image. This is the v2 image. So this is the functionality which I was talking about is versioning. Guys, is that clear for everyone? Any confusion? Any confusion? Yeah. Now guys, I'm going to show you this rollout and rollback functionality. This is a very excited one. This is a very good one actually, rollout and rollback. So what is a rollout and rollback? So before that, I want to make a commands ready because if I show you something, you will not, if I don't run the command immediately, you won't get it actually. So I should run this command in advance. I should create the command in advance. So first thing, I want to roll out the new images. So for that, first, how can we create a deployment? So there's one image which I set, and that is this one. So look at this, all this command I'm doing it from fresh. This is the one deployment I'm creating. This is for my role. Name I change it, image I'll let it be same. Okay, this is the deployment I created. Now after that, I'm going to scale it up to 6. So where's the scale command? Scale command, you should be having it. So here it is. So this is the scale command. So from here, scale to 10. Okay, what is the deployment name? My role and the dev. Now this, before this, I want to show you all this command here, this one also. So I want to deploy this, and after that I want to show you the version of it, rollout history, and deployment name would be my role. I'll explain you all this command one more time. I'm just creating. So I'm creating deployment, then seeing the history, and then before that I want to see the deployment rollout status. So for that I am creating history status. So kube rollout status, which status deploy my role hyphen dev, and then kubectl scale 10 deploy my role hyphen and dev. Okay, so these are the things. I'm seeing the status. After that also I'll see the status. Okay, so I'm scaling, replicating one pod to 10 pod here. Before that I'll see the status, and after that I'll see the status. So this is the kind of things. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to change the image. So image change, there's one command guys, which is their patching. So here, patch, update fields of resources. So you can patch also. So here I am patching it.
To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan and grow your skills immensely.
So for that, -h, and what you want to patch. So if you want to patch some image name, so here update the containers image spec.contain is required because it's merge key. So for that, this one. Okay, so this is the command I'm creating. Okay, so here kubectl patch, here it should be deployment actually, but it should be deployment. Patch a node, patch deployment. Examples is not given. So what I'll do, patch deploy. I'll get it from the Google also. Change image name. Okay. Uh, I'll just deploy still long. Okay, I'll for timing to avoid any mistakes here, I'll do traditional way of patching. Just ignore it. This is but information. If you are setting up the CI/CD process, you have to do that. So this I'm changing. Change the name. Change the name of the image. Manually, I'll do that here. Okay, or apply. You can use that YAML file also. You can use it. So here, this you do that. So here I create the deployment. Here I check the history. Then here I check the status. Then replicates to 10 pod. Check the status. And now check the history. And finally, before that, here getting deployment. This you have to do here. Okay, so look at this here. I hope that flow is clear now. You are creating a deployment, listing out all the pods if you have, then checking out the rollout history and status also. Then you deploy one pod to 10 pod, then checking the rollout status, and then checking out the pod. Okay, and then we are checking the history again. Now you must be wondering why I'm doing all this stuff. So guys, I am doing to roll out the changes from the version 1 image to version 2 image. These are the things. Now the question you must be wondering, okay, you are doing all this thing, but why? Why roll out you are so excited about it? So for that we need to understand few things. Guys, let's understand that stuff. This deployment has a rollout feature, which is a very good one actually. Very beautiful one. Let's understand this. kubectl rollout -h. Here, what you want, roll out a deployment -h. Here, see here, deployment -h, you get this one. Rollout status, rollout undo, and other commands also there. So you must be wondering, what is this big about it? So guys, there is a one thing which is big about it, and that is get deploy -n dev and that is, let me show you here. Describe deploy, name of the deploy -n is equal to Raj dev, and here this is a big about it. Yeah, here in this strategy type and rolling update strategy type is big about it. Please read this. What is a strategy type? Rolling update. This is when you roll out the from the one version to another version, or when you roll out the new images, then this strategy is been default, which we have. Look at this here. Rollout strategy type, rolling update, and it says rolling update strategy 25%. So I want to check, do we have a more strategies and what is these strategies on all stuff like that. So here I want to check this out. Let's look at this here. So kubectl explain what? Of course, deploy dot spec. In this spec, you have template. What? Dot spec. What? So here you see, here you have rollout strategies. So just a second. It should be deployment rollout strategy. I'm just looking at, clear the screen, deploy dot metadata no dot spec. Here. So strategy. So deployment strategy, strategy to use replace existing pod with new one. What is the strategy? Please understand this. This is a rollout strategy. Strategy, the deployment strategy to use to replace existing pod. So can you check the strategy? What is the strategy? See here. Strategy type, rolling update. Okay, here you have a rolling update. Do we have a more strategies type? No, we have only for rollout updates, we have only this. Or recreate. Recreate means you are refreshing everything. Actually, it's not used, so default is rolling update. Now, what is this rolling update strategy? I don't understand this. What is this? So guys, you need to understand important thing is this one. So let's me explain it to you. What exactly this? Very simple concept. Here, this is one deployment which you have right now, and it has a 4 pod, 1 pod, 2 pod, 3 pod, and 4 pod. This is the deployment 1. Now what happens? Think about it. What happens when you change the deployment with the new image? This is a v1 image, okay? And when you want to change the replace the whole different deployment v2 with the v2 images, then there should be even not a single millisecond of downtime. I repeat, that should not be any millisecond of the downtime. So here, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. And here strategy is 25%. Let me show you. Default strategy is 25% unavailable, 25% max search. So as per this strategy, what will happen if you deploy the new images, which I've been doing it, what will happen? You will get this 25% pod created, and then what will happen? Then this older pod will get deleted. So that way, any given point of the time, you have a older 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is a new one and 3, 1. Now again this one and this one. Again this one and this one and this one. So that way, any given point of the time, your desire is 100 only. So guys, this kind of update you can try with a static content actually, not with a database, but static content. Very powerful one. But there are ways in a stateful sets also you can do the rollout. Did you understand everyone? What is the rolling updates now? So in a short, if I tell you, using these two features, rollout features and rollback features, you can minimize the downtime using deployment. So deployment has these features inbuilt. Okay, so this is what I'm going to show you here is, look at this. Here I'm creating a deployment, showing you all the pod, showing you the history also, rollout status also. Then I'm rolling out to 10 pod and then showing you the rollout status. Then here I'm changing the name of the image and then showing you the pod and then showing you the history. Okay. And last one, this one. This is the whole command to try it out, the roll out the new version. And after this, once it's done, I'll roll back also using undo command. That I'll show you in few seconds. So let's get started, guys. I'm doing in one go. So that's the reason I wrote all this command here. So I should run myself. So first of all, I'll clean this anything else. -n dev. So delete this, deploy my dep -n dev. I do not have anything. I do not have any pods also in the dev. See, everything got terminated. So can I deploy new deployment? I did it. Only one deployment, you got it. Okay. Can I show you the IP address? Can I check the V1? Okay. After that, can I see the rollout history versioning? V1. After that, can I see the status of rollout? Of course, it's completed. Rollout. After that, can I scale to 10? Same version. Can I see the status? See, this is the status. Now you are seeing it. So they are scaling up one pod to multiple pod, and you can see the status, how much. So right now for the 910 pod, it's not that fancy feature, but you know, once you are deploying 500,000 pod, then you will find this kind of things should be there, and you would need it. See here, rollout got successfully 10. So now all this pod randomly I'll validate. See the, look at this here, age Here the status come little bit late, but if you look at this, all the pod got created at the same time except this one, which was the first one. So curl http see here random pod. So this is done, guys. A rollout status done. Now can I show you the history? Oh, so I have not changed the image. Let me change the image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the image, and I'm going to change the image. Okay. So look at this. Deploy -n dev. So I'm changing the image. Edit directly. It will be faster. You can patch it also if you are using CI tool, but the syntax is too long, so I just avoid it. Edit my role and edit deploy, right? Deploy my role -n is equal to dev. Okay. So here I'll just go change to 1 to 2, nothing else I'll do. Here, look at this. And the moment I save it, I have to check this. Look at this. They're destroying the old pod and getting me the new pod. Remember, it was a V1. Welcome to devopsschool.com V1, and now we have a V2. Done, guys, done. Can we validate? So these are all the pod. Look at the age. Okay. Now image, when we change, it changes. You see here 37. You see 37.3. Again 22, 24, 32. So you see the timing and all changing the image timing. See here V2. Change the IP address. Different one. See here V2. So guys, this is happened. Like now rollout has happened, and now can I see the history? Same demo with a different context, 1 and 2. And can we see the status? So guys, did you understand the rollout feature? Now deployment? Everyone? Okay, guys, now I'm going to show you the rollback feature. Let me tell you here, rollback feature without having single second of downtime. Remember the strategy I explained you. So I'm going to roll back now. Roll back. So how can we roll back? So guys, the command is undo. Undo -h, and this command I'll get it here, and deploy my role, and which version you want to undo. Version 1. See, I have only 2 images, 1, 2, not 3 but 1. I have right now I'm in 2. I want to go back 1. So here version 1, rollout, undo, deploy my role, version 1 -n dev. That's all. After that you can check the status. After that you can check the history. After that you can check the pod. After that call all this thing. So can I do that? So guys, I'm rolling back. Here you see. Done, guys. Can we see the history now? See here. Why 2 and 3, where the 1 is gone? So guys, when you have, see, I have only 2 images. Look at this here. I have only 2 images, V1 and V2. So this was earlier V1, here it was V1. Okay, now this one you got the V2. Now when you got the 3, it got a V1. So at any cost you have unique version. So why to unnecessarily store this one? It's a waste of time. So up to the 10 version of the images you can store it here. Okay, that's the reason you are saying unique version here only. 3 is gone. Why? Because that was not unique. Okay, so understand this way. So I got this here. Can we validate? And it should be V1 right now because I roll back, right?
Please enroll our general membership for $3.99 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $3.99 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.